Welcome back to a kitchen table wargaming battle report. This is being hosted by my fabulous nephew Justin. So his table, his terrain, it's good times. We're playing Overrun. This is the chapter approved mission. Grand tournament mission. 6 objectives. You got to hold more 2 and then more or 3 and then more than your opponent to score your points for primaries. And then you got the secondary for Overrun, which both of us, I think, are being tempted to take. I know Justin.
I'm taking it.
He has it.
Gonna do it.
Just flat out. He's taking that. What were the other 2 secondaries?
The other 2 secondaries taking our line breaker and deploy scramblers.
Deploy scramblers. Line breakers. That's a risky one. Of course, my army doesn't like to stay in its deployment zone, so it's probably not that risky.
I'm going over there anyway.
And then here we go. So lots of characters.
Venerable Dreadnought with las cannon, melee weapon and flamers, banner ancient, apothecary, both upgraded to their new Space Marine Codex, upgraded versions. Librarian, Master of Sanctity. The Librarian, I gave the Gorgon's Chain, so he has a 5-up invul and -1 to wound from ranged attacks.
Ooh.
And then my Captain upgraded to a Chapter Master with Angel's Artifice for the 2-up save and the +1 to his toughness. A Lieutenant, who I gave Artificer Armor so that he has a little bit of a better save and an invul. A 10-man Scout Blob. A Rhino, a 10-man Tac Blob. A 10-man Vanguard Veteran Blob. 3 Land Speeder Tornadoes and a Thunderfire Cannon with Tech Marine.
Yes, and he is running these all as
Iron Hands.
Iron Hands.
With their new chapter tactic.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And very interesting to see how these guys will face off. I'm playing the Grey Knights, and I'm running all Firstborns as well, except the Grey Knights don't have cool Firstborn things like extra wounds. Yet. So, I have 1 Interceptor squad. I have 3 Strike squads, 5-man. 2 of them are all halberds and stormbolters. 1 of them back here has some varied weapons, a psy cannon, some force staves and halberds. Have the apothecary with a hammer. Have Drago running him for the first time with his new, maybe not improved storm shield. Voldus librarian. Then I'm running 9 Terminators because, we have a 2-wound model. But our Terminators are still objective secure, so that's the one benefit we get being Grey Knights. Have the Grandmaster over here in Dread Knight armor. He is the Warlord, first to the fray. And then I have a Razorback with the Twin Heavy Bolter, Storm Bolter, and a Crusader with the Hurricane Bolter, Storm Bolter, and Assault Cannon. And that is it. My list comes in at 1999 points. Justin comes in at 1997. So I have the advantage. Watch out. So we're gonna roll off, deploy, and get this game started up. All right, so here we go, deployed. Grey Knights piled up in this corner for the most part. Getting an objective, we got squads in the Crusader, squad in the Razorback. Drago's also riding the Crusader. Terminators, Voldus, Librarian back here. Then over here to this side, we have Apothecary and Interceptor squad close to the objective, but not on it just yet. Then Mr. Iron Hands over here. Some scouts, yes, they're still alive in the game. Showing up over here, out of line of sight temporarily. And then an entire mess of metal. So we've got a bunch of vehiculars and a whole lot of characters. I really wish I could get over there real fast and just shoot them. We'll have to see. And that's it. So we're about to roll off for deployment. First turn. Sorry, deployment's done. So here I go. Oh, a 5.
A 2.
Yes, Grey Knights will, go first. Fun times ahead. All right, Grey Knights took the first turn. Into the first turn, Terminators shuffled around a little bit. Voldus, Librarian stayed over here. We got Hammerhand on the Terminators in case of any weird shenanigans, but they weren't jumping or moving, so I kind of doubt anything will happen. Crusader shuffled a bit, still holding the objective. Line of sight, but no range on things. Disembarked this squad from the Razorback. We put Armored Resilience on them because of the Thunderfire. Razorback moved up to get line of sight all the way down yonder on the Scout squad and did some shooting and wounding. It was terrific. The poor interceptors failed to get Vortex of Doom, so that didn't happen. And that was with what? We spent the CP for the 3 dice, and it still failed to go off. Rolled 2 and 2 1s. But in shooting, we did kill a few of these guys. The Razorback killed a few. And then also, my Apothecary jumped over to here, failed to cast Mental Interrogation, which was embarrassing. He rolled a 2 and a 1. CP re-rolled a 2 and a 1. But he did make his charge and killed a Land Speeder, and then consolidated into the other 2. And so here he stands, gaining 2 points for engage on all fronts, and that would be the end of my turn. So going into Iron Hands, turn 1. All right, so the end of the Iron Hands, turn 1. Mr. Apothecary actually did not kill a Land Speeder. We forgot about his nifty, what is that? Iron Hands, yeah, ignoring wounds on 6s. So he's still got 1 wound left. Not so dead yet. So that meant that my Apothecary stayed in the building, got some cover benefits, did use Transhuman because everything that could shoot at him did shoot at him. That was delightful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Except for the Thunderfire Cannon. Thunderfire Cannon picked off 1 Terminator and tremored them, so they can't do anything. So that's that. Then over here, we did some shuffling, so they can't shoot, or they couldn't shoot at the interceptors, which was nice. They could have, I guess, but they chose not to. Rhino advanced, popped smoke. Yeah, that was about it. Sorry, I forgot about Mr. Venerable Dreadnought popped my Razorback just in one shot. One
CP
shot.
re-rolled.
See, yeah, but still, it was a just boop, you're gone. So that was that.
Nothing scored. Well, except for
no
your,
points.
corners.
I scored engage points. That was it. No secondaries scored on either side other than that. So that's the end of battle round 1. Moving into Grey Knights, turn 2.
That turn than previous.
Yes, well, let's see. Here we go. There were some whiffers on shooting, but this is the end of Grey Knight's turn 2. Poor rerollable Dread Knight failed his charge twice. Interceptors, though, made a 10-inch charge and did nothing. They slapped a Rhino, and it was great. Everybody over here is fine. You'll notice the Land Speeder finally died. Over here, Thunderfire Cannon on the other side of Justy Bear is gone, and the Tech Marine is now in combat. He took a wound off of my Apothecary. Forgot what he was. There's a couple wounds off the Vin Dread because my Land Raider Crusader with Gate of Infinity rapid fired with the also boosted ammunitions and killed the Thunderfire and took wounds off of the Apothecary. That's how all that played out. Over here, these guys are -1 to wound. These guys will no longer have to worry about the threat of the Thunderfire Cannon, but the exciting party bus of Vanguard veterans are probably going to drop in and Blender over here, so we gave them the reroll hits in half range, just in case. We don't know yet. We'll wait and see. And that's it. So I scored a bunch on primaries. I held more, and I got 2 more for engage on all fronts, and then I also got the mental interrogation to go off this time. That's it. That was the end of the phase. Once again, Vortex of Doom failed. I was disappointed. Sanctuary failed. So the psychic phase has been up and down, up and down. And that's it. Come back at the end of Iron Hand's turn 2. End of the Iron Hand's turn. We have deleted the Interceptor Squad. He has. The characters are all up here towards the front. The Rhino fell out, moved up, trying to get to this objective, going for his secondaries. Back here, the Tech Marine fell back, left the Apothecary high and dry. They all fell back. The big old scary guys dropped in, charged, and deleted my Apothecary. The Land Raider took a beating from some multi-meltas and assault cannons, so he's down to 8 wounds. Everybody else back here stayed alive. Nothing was done to these chaps, and the Dread Knight did make a couple of saves, and that was it. So that was the end of the turn. Once again, no scoring from the Iron Hands. Kind of disappointing. We shall see. He's going to make a dramatic score recovery, though, once he gets into my lines. So Maybe, but I lost my screen that I was keeping you out with. They are now dead. So we'll have to do something shenanigan-wise to prevent you scoring more points. So that's the end of Iron Hands turn 2, and that is the end of Battle Round turn 2. Right. So end of Grey Knights turn 3. The Terminators, I keep trying to call them Paladins. Terminators jumped. Gate of Infinity, they're over here. Failed to charge, even with the rerolls from the Grandmaster. So he charged into the Captain, the Chaplain, and all these attack Marines, and he got to use his cool Melt-A-Bomb stratagem, which dropped Big Boy down to 3 wounds left. That was rough. Well, he took a couple wounds from the Captain. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But back here, Drago got smacked, took a wound, and then he turned around and killed
6 Vanguard
6
vets.
of them. The Land Raider, by the way, killed 2, right? No, he killed 1.5 because of his frag assault. That was kind of fun. Shooting wise, he killed 1. The Land Raider killed 1 in shooting. That was sad. The 2 wounds actually coming in clutch. Plus Iron Hands ignoring on 6s was a big deal. Land Raider is down to 1 wound or 2 wounds. I can't remember. 2. He has 2 left from the strike squad. So that's where we sit. Keep trying my best to block Justin from getting into my deployment zone, because that's where he's going to score a lot of points, and it's working so far. So yeah, there we go. End of the Grey Knights turn 2. That was pretty good. Got mental interrogation off. Got 2 for engage on all fronts again. And that is where we stand. End of our turn. So going into Iron Hands, turn 3. All he wanted was to get.
So I have no
2
CP
objectives.
2 for my defense turn because I spent it. No, I didn't.
You have a command point. A
I didn't
to CP. That's funny.
How later CP?
You notice the Land Raider's gone. You'll also notice the Vanguards are gone because they failed morale. That was embarrassing. They ran away and were sad. Over here, you'll notice the Grandmaster Dread Knight is gone. Mr. Librarian with his null zone, and then they hacked him to death. Over here, the Strike Squad is gone thanks to the Land Raiders. The Land Raiders also did the deleting of the
Land Speeders.
Land Speeders. I was like, what happened? Yeah, Land Speeders deleted the Land Raider and the Strike Squad, so they earned their points back. This little group of characters, they're supposed to be really hard to kill. They are being really hard to kill. And they're moving up to make things bad for me. So I am going to be angry with them and try to get rid of them. That's my plan, yes. So I've got this left, pretty much. So Strike Squad, Voldus, Librarian, Strike Squad, Terminator Squad, and a Drago, who is in the backfield, and he's just going to cause some ruckus. I thought I would score a whole bunch of assassinate points, but it's not working out that way. So, yeah, end of the turn for the Iron Hands. They did a lot of work. Still not a lot of points scored by the Iron Hands yet, but a lot of damage was dealt in that turn. So we'll go into Grey Knights turn 4. End of the turn for the Grey Knights. Killed the Tech Marine, killed the Captain, killed the Lieutenant. These guys did some work. Then we lost another Terminator in combat, a couple of them. And I think that was it. There was not much done in shooting. Voldus came over, provided some buffing spells, and that was how the cookie crumbled. We did do some work on the Captain with smites. That helped. We switched to the tide to the Smitey Smite Tide. Took off a few wounds off of him and then killed him in combat. So there it is. End of the game. A lot more Iron Hands left than Grey Knights.
But no points.
But no points, which was pretty weird. So there we have it. Been fun. And by the way, the 2 wounds makes a big difference. It was very interesting to see how that worked out. And the unkillable characters, well, not unkillable, but harder to kill characters with all the relics, benefits, warlord traits, all the different things that they did, kept me from scoring any assassinate points until this turn. So turn 4 is where it took to finally whittle them down. And even at that, it took melee and psychic and shooting to get through them. So pretty powerful, pretty fun. So good game. Thank you, sir. It's been a good time. Yes. And now we must run.